So, Claire, what's the deal with okay, so what I heard was when all the queens were doing their entrances for for season 4,
Right. Uh-huh.
you had something that you had planned to do for your big debut, because it is your big debut. It's your first time on television, it's your first time on Morgan's Drag Race. And that didn't go exactly to plan. Can you, elaborate on that?
Okay, so anybody who knows me knows that I am the biggest American Horror Story fan. And out of all of the main actresses, there are exactly 3 who I simp for.
Well, all right, honey, go on, spill, baby. Let's hear it. Let's hear the names.
Yeah, I want to hear the names, because I don't watch TV. So I have zero idea what either of you are talking about.
Third is Billie Lourd. Second is Jessica Lange, but my first is my all-time favorite, Emma Roberts, specifically as Madison Montgomery from AHS Season 3 Coven.
See, now, I would have figured that any self-respecting drag queen who also watches television, because I don't watch TV, I star in TV. I star in the background. Look for me, extra in the background, professional background artist, would absolutely model themselves after the impeccable, the incomparable, the timeless Jessica Lange. But you, like so many Nickelodeon wannabe baby drag queen divas, chose to model yourself after Emma Roberts, the niece of Julia Roberts. Not even modeling yourself after Auntie Julia. No, Emma Roberts, whose claim to fame before AHS was like a Rosie O'Donnell movie on Nickelodeon, I think. I can't even remember. Anyway, go on. You were saying? This is really exciting, by the way. Really interesting.
It is interesting. I'm having a ball of it.
Actually, it was Michelle Trachtenberg who starred in the Nickelodeon movie. Anyway, so I had this big entrance all prepared and everything, and as you know, being a seasoned veteran of Morgan's Drag Race yourself, you know how important first impressions are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're going home first. I mean, you only get the one. But yeah, go ahead. Continue, please, by all means.
Well, I was behind like 3 or 4 other queens. I think I was immediately after Celine. And production had already been badgering me to hurry it up. Anyway, so I get to place behind the set, X marks the spot and all that. And I'm rehearsing my entrance line. It was supposed to be AHS inspired. Something that Emma Roberts' character had said it was supposed to have been, "No, bitch, she's Claire Voyant."
Oh my god, that would have been perfect.
I know, right? So I request 5 seconds of more time so I can remember that fucking line, which would have ended up making my entrance to Drag Race oh so iconic, and a PA comes along and literally shoves me up to the spot. "There's no time. We have to film the important girls now. Dahlia and Zawara are next."
Oh, bitch.
And so because I couldn't remember, I ended up saying, "Surprise, bitch, bet you thought you'd seen the last of me," which makes absolutely zero sense in this context, being it was Claire Voyant's first and only time on Drag Race.
Wow. Wow, that's it. That's the tea.
Where the fuck do these people get off on putting queens like me down the totem pole of importance? Because I'm not the queen of 2 cities?
Bingo, that's it.
Or because I don't have 2 drag mothers who were both on the show?
Actually, I think this one's actually a pretty better reason.
So, speaking of Dahlia and Zoara, how are your feelings about them now that everything's all said and done and the season is over? Obviously, by episode, the first episode, you were already over with Dahlia. Can you, go into that a bit more?
Yeah, spill the tea, sister. We want to hear it.
I was pretty unhappy, as you could easily tell in those segments featuring myself and Dahlia. I was pissed, in fact.
And not the British sense of pissed, either.
Anyway, I sat there simmering and seething the entire time waiting for Dahlia and Zawara to make their grand entrances, and they were shit. I was expecting fireworks, special effects, a light show, something to justify their supposed importance.
Oh, wow. You could easily tell just by pulling up to the Starfang Presents Plus parking lot, they do not have that in their budget. But go on, continue. By all means, continue. I'm listening with ears.
Well, I got the immense displeasure of listening to Dahlia talk about herself a lot. Anytime someone brought up a different topic, Dahlia made sure to circle the conversation back to being about herself. Zoara was pretty stuck up, but she at least exerted a modicum of grace and knew when to shut the fuck up for the sake of others.
Wow, now it really feels like Claire Voyant is on NPR mode, baby. It really feels like you are in full-on political podcast mode. So, what about Abacus? I noticed you didn't really have anything to say to or about her.
Abacus. Oh, I don't fuck with her. No, ma'am. She shut that shit down faster than a clown at a funeral.
What? I don't believe I've ever heard that expression before. Clown at a funeral. I'm gonna have to remember that. Ella, write that down for me so I don't forget.
Clown at funeral.
So, like, I mean, even like after Abacus said what she said, like, oh, like you're Beyonce except you're Emma Roberts. Like, you didn't say anything back, even off camera.
There was no retorting with Abacus. You either played ball and accepted your scolding for whatever pittance of TV time the producers were willing to give, or you got viciously flamed off camera, but within the eyes and ears of Morgyn and the Queens.
But like, that's always been reality TV. Like, I mean, it's not a new concept. Like, even on Morgan's Drag Race Season 1, the very first season, my season, that shit was still the same thing. It was like, production. Here, I'm going to let you in on a secret, Claire, okay? Because I don't think, like, you knew
Right.
hardly any of this stuff going in. So, production rounds us up into, like, groups for, like, a week, half a week, to see how our personalities mesh. We do lip syncs, we do little, like, contests, little, none of this stuff matters. We don't even meet Morgyn yet at that point. It's just all production. There are queens from Season 2. There's a whole season of Season 2 that got cut when the hard drive crashed. And the only returning queen from that, from Ella's season, Season 2, is Darren Leak. Rumor has it a lot of those queens didn't want to come back unless they were with each other because it made for good TV. With Abacus doing and saying what she's doing, it's no different at all from when people were like, oh, Extra, she cheated. She cheated on the Trash to Cheddar challenge. Send her ass home, disqualify her. And it's like with Caliente, like, she didn't get her outfit off a prostitute. She brought it from home, like I did with my outfit. But she decorated it with things she found in the garbage, which was like a button on the actual dress she wore, if you remember that episode, and like maybe some earrings and a bracelet, which I don't even think you can notice in there. I got like stockings, I got like some shoes. I didn't even wash the semen that were stained on it. I kept them. I found them at a truck stop. Like, you know what? This is perfect for this challenge. It's me, Extra. I'm a lot lizard. I'm a drag queen Lothario. Let's get this on. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Basically, TLDR, this shit's been around forever, Claire. If you ever decide to come back to do, like, an All-Stars type of season or a Versus the World type season, if they do that, you really have to, like, get used to that. It's not so much of production being like, oh, you suck. It's basically that they already have formed in their mind the queens that they envision for being top 4, top 5. Now, mind you, this does change. I told people forever that I was actually top 5, and nobody believed me. They were like, oh, you're just, like, aggressive towards Icy. You just don't want to give Icy her flowers. Well, girl, it had nothing to do with that. Like, she absolutely had her flowers. Absolutely. Like ask anybody. Icy's an amazing queen. She's a talented dancer. She's a talented designer. She looks sickening when she wears the right outfits. And I know that's probably going to come out wrong, but y'all know what I'm saying. The thing of it is that I was top 5. That goddamn Extra cut where, oh, let's send her home in episode 2, but then like, oh, we regret it, let's bring her back episode 4. I was there the whole time. The problem is, when I was originally sent home in episode 2, they needed to they couldn't just have me magically appear and act like, oh, I actually joked to them, to Morgan and the producers, I said, what if we do it like a Seinfeld thing? Like, it's like, I didn't get the memo, I was fired, so I keep showing up all the time and acting as if nothing had happened. I just do like a walk-on and I sit there amongst the other queens, eat a bag of chips. Like, wouldn't that just be funny? And Morgan actually laughed at that. She thought it was funny, but she was like, yeah, but we really needed to create, like, a way in for you, for your character to come back and be reintroduced into the show so it makes sense. Which, looking back now, I get it. It makes sense. But it's just this whole thing of production, of executive meddling, and depleting storylines and less TV time, etc., etc. So, like, Claire, I know you were an early out. You're technically the first out of season 4. That doesn't mean you're going to be first out of, like, All Stars or Redemption or whatever. You know, so you just got to keep at it. You got to keep applying and keep trying out for these later seasons. They call you, God damn it, accept the call. Take the call.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't gotten the call for any of these shows, but I'm still holding out hope. And with that, we're going to cut to a very extremely legitimate commercial break. Absolutely legitimate ad break. Completely not a ripoff.
You do everything in your car, from talking to friends to watching a movie to turning tricks with a coworker. So why should you get out of your car to eat? At Up and Atom, we're from a time when America didn't worry about global warming, cholesterol, or who could vote. Drive into Up and Atom today. Up and Atom, food from when we were morally superior.